Coronary artery bypass grafting. Anatomy of the heart. The heart contains the four chambers, that is right atrium, right ventricle and left ventricle. And when we are comparing with the ventricles, the atria are small and have thinner and less muscular walls than the ventricles. And the ventricles are connected to the arteries that carry blood away from the heart. Here you can see the aorta, the pulmonary artery and the pulmonary vein and left atrium, right atrium, pulmonary. This is the structure of the heart. Coronary arteries. This is the anterior view, and we are having two main coronary arteries, that is we call this left coronary artery and right coronary artery. And left coronary artery, left main, and from left main there are branches, that left anterior descending artery and left circumflex artery and even posterior descending artery, and right coronary artery divided into right marginal artery and posterior descending artery. Definition: the bypass surgery that can create new routes around narrowed and blocked coronary arteries. So the person who are having a clot, that is first diagram you are seeing, that is the coronary artery is getting stenosed or narrowed, so there will not be enough blood will be supplying to the myocardium. So for that we will be giving an anastomosing an artificial graft, or the graft which he has taken from the patient's own body, that is from artery and the vein. And here the narrowed and blocked coronary arteries permitting increased blood flow to deliver oxygen and nutrients to the heart muscle. So here what is the purpose of doing the coronary artery bypass surgery means, so here to improve the blood flow and oxygen to the heart muscle. And CABG surgery is one of the most commonly performed major operation. The purpose of coronary artery bypass graft. First, restore blood flow to the heart, relieve chest pain and ischemia, and improve patient quality of life and enable the patient to resume a normal life cycle, and it also lower the risk of a heart attack. Coming to the indications of CABG, and the indications depend upon the various factors, mainly on the individual symptoms and severity of the cases, and left main artery disease are equivalent. So here, in case the patient is having any blockage in the left main artery, it is very dangerous because there will be a complete cut of blood supply to the left anterior descending and left circumflex artery. It is very dangerous, and even the triple vessel disease, the patient is having a blockage in more than 2 vessels, that is 3 vessel disease, we will be preferring the coronary artery bypass graft. And any abnormal left ventricular function and failed PTCA. So the patient first attempt, the doctors might have tried percutaneous transluminal coronary angioplasty, even though after undergoing a PTCA, patient cannot sustain or lead a normal life, better option we will go for CABG. And immediately after myocardial infarction, to help perfusion of the viable myocardium, we will be opt to the CABG, and any life-threatening arrhythmias caused by previous myocardial infarction, or even occlusion of grafts from previous CABG, because the patient might have undergone CABG 5 years back or 10 years back, and even after that graft again started occluding, that will also an indication for CABG. Coming to the contraindications, even though there are some contraindications all there in the CABG, if the patient has a left main artery disease or aortic valve insufficiency and any abdominal aortic aneurysm and hemorrhagic diseases and any valve diseases, congenital heart diseases, like atrial septal defect, ventricular septal defect, any aortic stenosis or mitral stenosis, or cardiomyopathy, or lower extremities edema, or severe hypertension, that is blood pressure higher than 110/70, and uncontrolled arrhythmias and pregnancy. And diagnostic evaluation, we will be confirming before, we will be taking certain diagnostic measures before doing the coronary artery bypass surgery. So here the patient complete routine investigation, complete blood count, total count, differential count, blood urea nitrogen and fasting lipid profile, and we will be doing the ESR level and that CPK, CKMB, tropi level and blood grouping and typing and physical examination and other diagnostic tests, ECG we should take, echo, MRI and coronary angiography. So from the coronary angiography only we will be confirming where exactly the lesion. So here you can see the coronary artery. So here the cardiologist pushing the dye. Once we are pushing the dye, we will be nicely visualize where exactly the blockage. So before undergoing the coronary artery bypass graft, what they will do exactly, where exactly the lesion, the size of the lesion will be measured, the length. In case if we are suggesting to undergo percutaneous transmural coronary angioplasty or even the bypass graft, both we needed the size of the lesion so that we can take the graft or even the stenting. Types of CABG. First one is traditional coronary artery bypass graft. That's what we are practicing for a long time. This is most common type of coronary artery bypass grafting, and it's used when at least one major artery need to be bypassed. And here it's used when at least one major artery needs to be bypassed. Here, during the surgery, the chest bone is opened and they will be do the thing. Here you can see, here what they will do actually after giving the spinal anesthesia, the chest bone will be opened to assess the heart, and they will give certain medications to stop the heart, and a heart-lung bypass machine. The patient will be connected to the heart-lung bypass machine, and is used to keep blood and oxygen throughout the body during the surgery. Off-pump coronary artery surgery. So off-pump coronary artery surgery, this is a type of CABG, is similar to traditional CABG because the chest bone is open to assess the heart, and here it is one of the procedure that surgeon used to restore blood flow to the coronary arteries. Here the surgeon takes an artery or a vein from another places in the body, and that is commonly they will take that artery from the internal mammary artery and vein from the saphenous vein, that is from the leg. So the surgeon then uses the vessel to bypass the blocked part of the vessel and restore normal blood flow to the heart. This is also we will call as a BT heart bypass grafting. Here you can see the artery, they have grafted the artery that is from the internal mammary artery. So the artery grafting, and we can also see the vein grafting, that is blue color vein graft, that is from the saphenous vein in the leg. Coming to the minimally invasive technique, it's an alternative methods of minimally invasive coronary artery bypass surgery and off-pump coronary artery bypass. It's a technique of performing bypass surgery without the use of cardiopulmonary bypass. Coming to the procedure, here the patient is brought to the operating room and moved into the operating table, and anesthesia. The anesthetist places an IV line and arterial line and inject an analgesic, usually normal injection fentanyl IV will be given, followed within minutes by an induction agent and propofol and etomidate to render the patient unconsciousness. And manually we will have to keep the patient, since the patient we are sedating, so we should intubate the patient, insert the endotracheal tube and keep it secured, and the patient should be connected to the, electively the patient will be connected to the mechanical ventilator. And general anesthesia is maintained with an inhaled volatile anesthetic such as isoflurane, and the chest is opened via median sternotomy and the heart is examined by the surgeon. And the next, what we have to do, the bypass graft harvested, and frequent vessels or internal thoracic arteries, radial artery and saphenous veins, and once they are completing the harvesting, the patient will be given injection heparin, that is to inhibit the blood clotting, that is bolus heparin 5,000 units will be given through IV. And in case of off-pump surgery, the surgeon places devices to stabilize the heart. And in case of on-pump surgery, the surgeon sutures cannulate into the heart and instruct the perfusionist to start cardiopulmonary bypass. And then protamine. Protamine is an antidote for heparin. So protamine is given to reverse the effect of heparin, and chest tubes are placed in the mediastinal and pleural space to drain blood from around the heart and lungs, and sternum is wired together and the incision and suture closed. And the patient will be poured into the intensive care unit and cardiac universal blood to recover, and every hourly we have to closely monitor until the patient will be on mechanical ventilator, and continuously depending on the ventilator. In case if it's needed, the patient may sometimes connected to the IABP machine, intra-aortic balloon pump, and the patient will be connected into continuous that cardiac monitor, and urometer will be there, so CVP line will be there. So as a nurse we have to monitor the arterial blood, level of blood, and central venous monitoring should be done, and continuously we should monitor every hourly we have to monitor the urine output, and the arterial blood gas analysis should be done, and we should evaluate the findings. Risk of coronary artery bypass grafting. So although complications from coronary artery bypass grafting are uncommon, there are certain risks. So the patient may, if you are not maintaining an aseptic technique, there may be a chance of developing wound infection, bleeding, reactions to anesthesia, and fever. Fever is caused due to any infection, and the pain at the surgical site, and some patient even may go for stroke, again heart attack, or even death. Coming to the nursing management. So post-operative nursing care, maintain airway patency and continuous bedside monitoring, and we should give more preference for mediastinal chest tube management, and we should monitor drainage and avoid hing. If you are finding the tube is hing, we have to milkify the tube, and assess the pain level, frequency, and provide relief pain. Sedation we can give as per doctor's order, or analgesic we can give, and that is the main goal, is to provide relief from anxiety and fear, and assess the surgical incisions for signs of any infection, and assess the extremity from which vessel harvested, and we should also look for any signs of impaired circulation, edema, and we should also monitor for complications. Thank you.